Hi, Martha Lewis here with Happy Little Camper Sleep Solutions. I want to talk a little bit about dream feeds today. So, if you know much about baby sleep, you've probably heard of a dream feed. But really quickly, that's when you wake your baby up. Say your baby goes to bed at 8, you want to go to bed at 10:30. You wake your baby up at 10:30, uh, feed her, and then hope that that means that she will sleep longer during the time that you're sleeping. So, lots of different experts recommend dream feeds. Harvey Karp from Happiest Baby on the Block recommends them. Lots of other sleep experts do. I am not a big fan of dream feeds though, and I've worked with quite a few people who were dream feeding their baby and it wasn't working. I mean, that's why they called me and needed to hire me to help them with their sleep. So, let me give you the lowdown about dream feeds. First of all, they can work in the short term. If your goal is to get a little bit more sleep, they can work in the short term. But it doesn't usually work for long, and it very easily becomes a habit. It also tends to create a feed sleep association. So that's something that us sleep experts want you to avoid, because if your baby associates sleeping with being fed, then as he transitions through sleep cycles in the night, he is going to need to be fed to go back to sleep. So that's why avoiding that feed sleep association is really key to having a great sleeper. So the dream feeds can cause problems down the road because all of a sudden now they're dependent on this feed to go to sleep. And so in the long term, it's actually going to cause them to wake up more during the night. So what we actually want to do is we want our babies to start consolidating their sleep. So that usually starts to happen around 8 weeks of age, that first leg of sleep becomes longer for our babies. If that's not happening, then get in touch with me. Because that wasn't happening with my son even by the time he was 3 months old. So, but yeah, ideally that first leg is consolidating. So say they're going to bed at 8, then they'll be able to sleep until midnight, and then 1, and then 2, and then later and later as they get older. And we want to encourage that because that's how they're eventually going to sleep through the night. So waking them up to have this dream feed is going to, again, get them in the habit of waking up at this early time. And it's interfering with their learning process, with their development of being able to sleep longer and longer without needing a feed. I also don't like to wake a sleeping baby. So, when sleep training, that's the only time I would recommend when you're trying to get a baby on a schedule. You don't want them to sleep too late in the morning. A 3-hour nap's going to throw everything off. But to me, it's a temporary thing that you don't want to be doing all the time. So, again, if you want your baby to sleep longer and longer, then don't wake them up. And really, it's impossible to feed a baby while being asleep. No one can eat while being asleep. So technically, you're waking them up on some level. So the key here is that I recommend teaching your baby the skills he needs to fall asleep on his own, and not incorporating a dream feed that's going to interfere with that. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to post in the chat and I'm happy to answer them. Thanks.